Hello and welcome to our channel. Are you learning English? Great! Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
On a cold winter morning, Maya stood quietly at the corner of a busy street, holding a small, worn-out bag in her hand. She had just lost her job at the local bakery and didn't know where to go or what to do next. The sky above was gray, and the wind was sharp, cutting through her thin old coat. People walked past her quickly, their heads down, rushing to their destinations. No one stopped. No one looked at her. Maya sat on a wooden bench nearby, opened her bag, and took out a few coins, a simple sandwich wrapped in paper, and her small notebook, her diary. She opened it with cold fingers and wrote, "Dear diary, I don't know what to do. Everything feels hard, but I hope something good will happen today." Just as she closed the diary, an elderly man walked by. He wore a thick brown coat, a blue woolen hat, and had kind, gentle eyes. He noticed Maya sitting alone, looking tired and sad. He stopped and asked softly, "Are you okay, young lady?" Maya looked up, a little surprised. She hesitated before replying, I'm fine." The man gave her a warm smile and asked, "May I sit down?" She nodded slowly, and he sat beside her. "My name is Mr. Thomas," he said, offering his hand. "Maya," she replied, shaking his hand carefully. They sat in silence for a moment, listening to the wind and the sound of the city moving around them. Then Mr. Thomas spoke again. "You look like you have a heavy heart." Maya wasn't sure why, but she felt safe with him. She started talking about losing her job, how she was trying to stay strong, and how everything seemed to be falling apart. Mr. Thomas listened patiently, never interrupting. When she finished speaking, he looked at her and said, "You are stronger than you think, Maya. It takes great courage to keep going." His words were simple, but they touched her deeply. Then he reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small notebook, similar to hers. "I write too," he said with a gentle smile. "It helps me understand my thoughts. Sometimes, writing can heal the heart." Maya was surprised. "What do you write about?" she asked. "About people, moments, and things that matter," he said. "Little things can change everything." She smiled faintly for the first time that day. Mr. Thomas stood up and asked, "Would you like to take a short walk with me? I want to show you something." Maya hesitated, but then stood up. "Okay," she said. They walked slowly through the nearby park. The trees were bare, and the grass was frosted with white, but the walk felt peaceful. As they walked, Mr. Thomas told her a story about a boy who once helped an old woman carry her groceries. That small act of kindness changed both of their lives. Maya listened closely, her heart warming with each step and each word. After a few minutes, they reached a small building. Mr. Thomas pointed to it and said, "That's the community library. They offer free classes, English, writing, and more. You might find something good here." Maya's eyes widened. "Really?" she asked. "Yes, Mr. Thomas nodded. "You love writing. Maybe this place could help you find your voice and your path." Before she could thank him properly, Mr. Thomas gave her a kind smile and turned to leave. "Wait," she called after him. "Will I see you again?" He paused and looked back. "Maybe," he said softly. "But remember, kindness doesn't end with one person. If someone was kind to you, be kind to someone else. That's how it keeps going." And with that, he disappeared into the morning crowd. Maya stood in front of the library for a while, holding her notebook tightly. Then she took a deep breath, opened the door, and walked inside. Inside the library, the warmth wrapped around Maya like a soft blanket. The quiet hum of pages turning and the gentle whispers of readers made her feel calm. A friendly woman at the front desk looked up and smiled. "Good morning," she said. "Can I help you with something?" Maya walked up slowly and replied, "I heard there are free classes here, maybe writing or English." The woman nodded cheerfully and handed her a colorful brochure. "Yes, we have both. There's a writing group that meets every Tuesday and Thursday evening, and we also offer English practice sessions during the day." Maya looked at the paper, scanning the times and details. "Can I join the writing group today?" she asked. "Of course," said the woman. "Come back at 5 o'clock. Just bring your notebook and your heart." Maya smiled, her hope growing like a small flame inside her. For the first time in a long while, she felt like she was walking towards something good. Maya spent the rest of the day inside the library, exploring the shelves like a child in a world of magic. She wandered through rows of books, gently running her fingers across their spines, stopping now and then to read titles that caught her eye. In one quiet corner, she found a small shelf labeled Stories of Hope and Kindness. Curious, she pulled out a slim brown book called The Power of Small Things. Sitting by a sunny window, she flipped through its pages, reading short tales about strangers helping each other, small acts of bravery, and simple, honest kindness. Each story reminded her of Mr. Thomas, his smile, his words, his gentle presence. She felt as if she was meant to find this book, as if it was placed there just for her. Hugging it close, she made up her mind to borrow it and return in time for the writing group. Something inside her whispered, "This is the beginning of something new." At exactly 5 o'clock, Maya returned to the small room at the back of the library where the writing group met. The lights were warm, and a circle of chairs had already formed. A woman with curly hair and glasses stood at the front, greeting everyone with a cheerful smile. "Welcome, friends. I'm Rachel, and this is our writing circle where stories are born and voices grow stronger." Maya found an empty seat and quietly sat down, her notebook resting on her lap. Around her were people of different ages and backgrounds, each holding pens, journals, or laptops. Rachel handed out small slips of paper with the evening's prompt written on them. "Write about a moment that changed you." Maya stared at the words for a while. Her fingers trembled slightly as she opened her notebook, but soon her pen began to move. The words flowed out of her like water from a broken dam, and in that moment, she wasn't just writing, she was remembering, healing, and growing. When it was Maya's turn to read, her heart beat loudly in her chest. For a second, she thought about passing, letting the moment slip away. But then she looked at the faces around her calm, open, waiting, and thought of Mr. Thomas. She took a slow breath, held her notebook with both hands, and began to read. Her voice trembled at first, but as her story unfolded, the cold morning, the bench, the kind stranger who listened without judgment, her voice grew steadier. The room was silent, everyone listening closely, their eyes locked on her, not with pity but with respect. When she finished, there was a pause, then gentle applause filled the room. Rachel's eyes were soft as she said, "That was beautiful, Maya. Thank you for sharing something so honest." Maya felt her cheeks grow warm, but inside, something had shifted. For the first time in a long while, she didn't feel invisible, she felt seen. As the session ended, a few group members came up to Maya, smiling and thanking her for her story. She realized that sharing her pain had not made her weaker, it had connected her with others. Rachel walked over and said, "You have a gift. Would you like to help with our Saturday storytelling group for beginners? You could inspire others." Maya was surprised. "Me?" she asked. "But I'm just starting." Rachel smiled warmly. "That's the best time to begin lifting others." Maya nodded slowly, a soft joy blooming inside her. "Yes," she said. "I'd love to." That night, as she walked home under the starry sky, the city felt different. Warmer, softer. She passed the old bench where she had met Mr. Thomas and stopped. Sitting down, she opened her notebook and wrote, "Dear Diary, a stranger once showed me kindness when I had nothing. He gave me no money, no job, but he gave me something greater, hope. Today, I found my voice, and maybe my purpose too. Tomorrow, I will return not just to learn, but to give." She looked up at the stars, smiling through tears. Somewhere out there, she knew Mr. Thomas was walking to planting seeds of kindness in someone else's heart. And now, Maya would do the same. Because kindness, once received, is never meant to stop. It is meant to be passed on quietly, gently, like a story written from the heart.